I just wrote to my subscribers for Global Macro Investor, which is my kind of institutional research service, said, listen, this is what I'm doing with Real Vision. We want to raise some capital. Are you interested? And we raised $5 million in about a week. The next time we went to raise capital, we thought we'd ask our members, because the US had passed the Jobs Act that allows you to crowdfund from accredited investors. So we're like, okay, fine. As long as you've got an existing relationship with them. We just wrote to our members and said, listen, we're raising capital for growth. That's what we want to do. There, we raised $10 million in a week. We're like, wow. Oh my God. So now we've got a business being funded by our customers. Not only are they subscribers, but they're investors as well.
Raoul Pal's perspective is a wake-up call that shakes us out of our comfort zones and into a whole new way of thinking. Picture everything you thought you knew about the market, its stability, its predictability, completely turned upside down. That's exactly what Pal does. He forces us to face the reality that our entire understanding of growth is deeply flawed. While most of us are stuck in a linear mindset, believing progress always moves in neat, straight lines, Pal reveals the shocking truth. Growth doesn't just follow a single path, it can explode, spiral, and shoot up like a rocket. Forget everything you've been told about playing it safe and waiting for trends to unfold. The truth is, the world is moving at a pace that traditional models can't even begin to understand. Pal challenges us to stop searching for predictability and instead embrace the wild, chaotic beauty of exponential change. This isn't about staying in your lane, it's about taking bold risks and making moves that defy conventional wisdom. And if you think Pal's ideas are just theoretical, think again. His own journey is a testament to the power of risk and the willingness to step away from a comfortable career to create something truly revolutionary. Before we continue with the rest of the video, do check out Daily 5-Minute Crypto Newsletter with all the latest crypto and Bitcoin news. It's a fantastic analysis of on-chain crypto data and breakdowns, and the best part is it's absolutely free. They'll cover expert predictions, breakdowns of on-chain crypto data, and any breaking news you need to know, all in a nutshell. Click the first link in the description and enter your email to join over 50,000 others in becoming a better crypto investor right now.
It's really hard for humans to really understand what exponential growth or exponential decrease could look like. So how does that play into how you think about markets and investing?
I think it's a really important thing, because a lot of the world is cyclical, and we're trained to believe in cyclicality and linear thinking. Now, what's incredible is economists are linear. They write models. The models do not represent the real world, because if you show a small child a chart of GDP, it goes up and down in a cycle. We know the economy is cyclical, yet economists build a steady state model, right? So we know that's wrong. But then many of us understand cyclicality, booms and busts, and that becomes law to us. But it's not law. It's law to some things. Exponentiality is something that you see most often in technology, viruses, and other stuff. And at this point, you have to understand trend rates of growth, and is this cyclical or not cyclical? Is the adoption of AI cyclical or not? I mean, anybody will tell you it's not. It's a secular trend change. So therefore, why would you want to short companies that are involved in this business? You should be biased only towards buying them. Now, whether at what value and what price, okay, that's a market timing issue. But you know you're armed with exponential growth. And people don't see that because they fear it. Because if I say to you, oh, well, AI is about to go exponential, as are the robots, the first thing that happens to you is fear. It's like, what the fuck does this mean to me? Right? So you start now clouding it with emotion. And it's like, I don't want that. I don't believe in this world. I want to go back to the Mustang and the days of gasoline and, you know, where we would go to the ball game with our hot dogs, whatever it is, right? Whatever you anchor onto the past for safety. So people really fear change because change is unknown. So how you have to deal with it is embrace it. If you know there's a secular trend change, then embrace it. Because then is where the magic happens. All the magic happens outside of your comfort zone. It's never in your comfort zone. So there's a circle, which is the universal set of my comfort zone. And then the magic happens in an entirely different area outside of that. And it's the same with investing. It's the same with life in general. is you need to be out of your comfort zone and understanding it's okay not to know, but to embrace. One of the things, I was working for a hedge fund, a famous big hedge fund, doing very well, and I quit. And I decided to go and move to the Mediterranean coast of Spain and try something I've never tried before, which was writing. And that was outside of my comfort zone because I gave up a lot of potential future income. Starting Real Vision, something I knew nothing about, was even how to make a video, let alone run a company. But outside the comfort zone is where the magic happens. So I want to embrace it because I saw the opportunity. Blockchain technology, another one, outside the comfort zone. I don't know where this is going. I don't know what this really means, but I think I've got an idea and I want to be involved. So I actually live my life according to this. I go around the world diving with sharks. Why? Because it's uncomfortable. Or I love trekking across deserts. Why? Because it's dangerous. Not because I'm a thrill-seeking junkie. It's because you learn about yourself and the world around you when you're outside your comfort zone. That's why I like travel in general. I like to be in situations that is not a 5-star hotel with hot and cold running flunkies. You want to be in a backpacker hostel where you don't know what the hell's going on and you can't speak the language. Why? Because the magic happens there. The magic's never going to happen in a Ritz-Carlton in some city. It's just never going to happen. But it will happen when you take yourself out of that.
And you certainly will appreciate what you already have when you're in these uncomfortable moments as well, right? You can be more grateful for what you have.
Yeah, and gratitude's a really important thing because if not, you get complacency. You take everything for granted. But once you realize that, when you're living in a desert for a couple of weeks, you realize that life and death is a decision away. It makes you really appreciate the security of the lives that we have. But if you hadn't have done that, you're watching the media, you think everything's terrible, it's the worst possible thing, and you don't actually realize how easy life is compared to what it's like for others or what Mother Nature can throw at you. Mother Nature's a great humbler, right? Because, you can be here on the Caribbean Sea and it's beautiful turquoise flat calm, but my God, when the hurricane comes, that sea is terrifying and it's completely out of your control. I just wrote to my subscribers for Global Macro Investor, which is my kind of institutional research service, said, listen, this is what I'm doing with Real Vision. We want to raise some capital. Are you interested? And we raised $5 million in about a week. I'm like, wow. The next time we went to raise capital, we thought we'd ask our members because the US had passed the Jobs Act that allows you to crowdfund from accredited investors. So we're like, okay, fine. As long as you've got an existing relationship with them. So we just wrote to our members and said, listen, we're raising capital for growth. That's what we want to do. And there we raised $10 million in a week. We're like, oh my God. So now we've got a business being funded by our customers. Not only are they subscribers, but they're investors as well.
Raoul Pal emphasizes that understanding exponential growth is crucial for navigating investments and market. He points out that in cyclical markets, misunderstandings can arise because humans tend to think linearly, struggling to grasp the concept of exponential growth or decline. Pal explains that economists often rely on linear models, which fail to account for the complexity of the real world. He also stresses the importance of identifying growth trends and distinguishing between cyclical and non-cyclical patterns. Pal highlights the value of embracing change and stepping outside one's comfort zone, both in life and in investing. Drawing from his own experience of leaving a hedge fund career to create Real Vision, he encourages taking measured risk. Let's return to the interview and watch more clips to gain deeper insights from Raoul Pal.
People care. If you can generate emotion from your community, that is probably the most powerful thing of all. I know code sounds amazing because it sounds so neutral, and so you just create code and you become rich. But actually, emotion is why Apple is a $1 trillion company. It's emotion. It's not just code.
And how do you build that into the product flow when you're thinking about Real Vision?
Again, we don't do this perfectly, but you've got to think about how it makes people feel, not what it does. Do you feel like you're getting access to privileged information? Do you feel special? Do you feel like you're getting smart? What does it feel like? And I wrote an email this morning to the senior management team about this exact word, feel. It's really important because we're so busy telling people our features, and the benefits is not actually what you get out of it, it's how it makes you feel. There's a fantastic quote from Estee Lauder from the makeup empire. And the quote was, at Estee Lauder, we don't sell lipstick, we sell dreams. It's incredibly profound to understand that what lipstick is an emotional state of how you want to look and how you want to feel. It's nothing to do with the lipstick, what it's made from, the color it is, none of it. And that's really interesting. And a long table of 30 people, all generations. And they were eating paella on a Sunday, and they were drinking wine, and there were kids, grandkids, grandparents, everybody, friends, and they were having fun, and they were outside, and it was a very simple thing. They were just simple trestle tables, but just full of stuff. And I said, that is quality of life. This is what I want out of life. How do I make that to be my life? So that was my pursuit. My pursuit was that image, is what do you want out of life? I had two dreams in my life. One was the Mediterranean, because I liked the environment of the Mediterranean, the people, the food, the culture. And I like water. I like diving. I like tropical beaches. I like sun. So that's why I end up in the Cayman Islands in Spain, is manifesting this quality of life. And so, yes, you can still get in the trap of wanting more and more to your quality of life. But also, if you're fortunate enough, it's then looking after the quality of life of those people around you. If you're really fortunate, looking after the quality of life of the environment around you. You know, can you start using your wealth or whatever to protect the environment? These are all quality of life things. And, you know, we have one journey as a human to go through life. You might as well try and make it the best you can, regardless of what that is. And it's not about money. You know, I first bought my first, again, story about Spain. I was in my late 20s. I was at Goldman Sachs working really hard. And I remember explaining to Dad the story about that Spanish beach scene. And I said to my dad, I said, look, at one point in my life, I really want to buy a house in Spain. And he's like, you know, I think my friend is selling a house. This was lacking price, what the house was, where it was, nothing. It was just typical father comment. My friend is selling a house. So anyway, so he sends through this image of this house, which is a 6-bedroom house on a hill in Spain. Again, I had no idea where it was. I'm like, yeah, Dad, how am I supposed to afford this? Yeah, I was reasonably well paid at Goldman, but I'm like, but still. And he's like, well, let me find out. And it was £150,000, which was not a lot of money for a house, 6 bedrooms on a hill in Spain, kind of 15 minutes from the beach. So I got on a plane the following weekend, flew there, bought the thing, and I was lucky enough to be able to buy it in cash. Needed a bit of work on it. And then I realized I'd won the game.
Raoul Pal highlighted the power of evoking emotions within a community, stating that emotional connections are a key driver of success. He pointed to Apple's trillion-dollar valuation as an example, arguing that people's emotional bonds with the brand, rather than just its products, are what have fueled its growth. Pal advised businesses to focus on delivering an emotional experience to their customers, rather than just promoting the features and benefits of their products. He also emphasized the importance of valuing quality of life over mere financial wealth. Sharing a personal story, Pal recalled a transformative experience on a beach in Spain, where he witnessed a family living simply yet happily. This moment shaped his own goals for a high standard of living. He defined quality of life as a sense of stability and enjoyment, which can be achieved through various means such as owning a home, living in a desirable location, or having fulfilling work. Pal explained that money should be viewed as a tool to help achieve these goals, rather than a measure of success in itself. He also noted that quality of life means different things to different people, and it's important to define what it means for oneself. Pal shared that renting could hinder a sense of security and stability, encouraging individuals to think creatively about homeownership. Reflecting on his own journey of buying a home in Spain, he emphasized that achieving quality of life requires prioritizing personal desires and values. How can you apply Raoul Pal's insights on quality of life to your own financial and personal goals? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. For more Daily Dose Crypto news, check out these 2 awesome videos on your screen. Click now and we will see you on the next video.